Bloo Cloo is a short animation inspired by the show Bloo's Clues, created by the one and only meatcanyon. And old Steve, the original host of the show, is tired of finding clues and wants to take a break, when unthinkable twisted events unfold before him. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator. You can add me on Twitter for game suggestions or anything else. This is far from what happened to Steve Burns, the original host of the show, after quitting. This animation is an alternate reality in a way, produced by the creativity of meatcanyon, and this video will specifically focus on that. In the Bloo's Clues cartoon house, an old Steve suffering from hair loss is busy cleaning Blue's paw prints on the fridge, a way Blue left clues for Steve to solve treasure hunts and other problems. Steve, clearly tired, sees Blue being very old and frail, leaving more blue inked paw prints after producing the ink through vomiting. Steve, pleading with Blue to let him rest as he's tired, gets pushed by the talking brush that there's always clues, indicating that Steve cannot rest. Steve, lacking any energy, sits on his armchair and turns the TV on to take his mind off the overwhelming repetition of finding clues and cleaning the difficult to clean inky paw prints. Strangely, the TV show Steve watches is of dogs and loving one's dogs, displaying that Steve truly loves Blue. The items in the house, similar to the actual show, start talking and reminding Steve that Blue is trying to show him clues. With the sheer pressure Steve is put under, with the house items repeatedly screaming for Steve to find the clues, and Blue leaving more paw prints around, transforming into a larger being and jumping into a picture on the wall, Steve rushes to the bathroom to escape the pressure. In the bathroom, as he washes his face to release some of the stress, the transformed Blue starts exiting the picture on the wall in the bathroom in a menacing manner, as if it wants to harm Steve. Steve, concerned with what he's witnessing, he runs out of the bathroom, getting into a long corridor, where there's a trail of Blue's paw prints alongside countless pictures on the wall, which Blue uses to quickly chase after Steve. At the end of the corridor, Blue shows its true nature, transforming into a vicious monster trying to kill Steve. Exiting the unrealistically long corridor, Steve is faced with all the talking items and a sickly and vomiting Blue. Steve, unable to endure the pressure anymore, shouts from the top of his lungs that he's sick of solving the clues and is sick at the sight of Blue, a dog that doesn't resemble the dog he used to know, a dog that doesn't display any more happiness, just misery and pain with age catching up to it. Steve, breaking under the immense pressure, starts stomping on Blue repeatedly, with blue ink splattering over his face when all the voices from the items come to an abrupt stop, with a dog whimpering in pain.
You! I hate you! I hate you!
Steve snaps out of this cartoony realm, and when he looks around, he finds himself in a quiet, typical house with actual blood splatter on his face. In shock and denial, he slowly looks down, witnessing the atrocity he's committed. A bloodied, lifeless body of Blue, an actual dog, lies motionless on the ground when Steve picks it up, crying in an apologetic manner, wishing he could reverse what he's done. Meanwhile, the TV plays with a girl hugging her dog, saying to give your dog what it needs. Be proud of your dog and love your dog. Steve was the original host of Bloo's Clues, an edutainment show for kids where he, alongside his cartoony dog called Blue, solved clues in a cartoony house where the house items could speak. Steve leaves the show in 2002 to pursue other dreams and plans. One major factor he mentioned to convince him to make this decision was due to his hair loss, as he didn't want him to lose hair in a cartoon show targeted for kids. In an alternate reality, he is seen yet again back in the Bloo's Clues house, with an extremely old Blue leaving paw prints all over the house while vomiting and being sick. Steve is exhausted of solving clues and wants to rest, but the nature of the house and Blue is to play and find clues, something that Steve has outgrown. In this surreal experience, Steve sees Blue being a monster, a vicious monster that is ever present and always there to torment him. He even transforms into a menacing entity trying to kill him. It's only at the end that it's revealed Steve's experience was nothing but delusion. In a sad turn of events, he witnesses that the monster he overcame by killing was no other than his actual old dog he named Blue, a dog he loved dearly, hence why he watches dog-related shows. Blue, a real dog that lives with Steve, is getting old as time passes on, and it's something Steve can visibly see. Blue has become sick, vomits regularly, and finds it difficult to run or play, like how she used to. Steve mentions that she's not the dog he once knew, not having a slight semblance of happiness anymore. This is depicted in an over-exaggerated manner in a surreal cartoon realm, where Blue struggles to walk, vomits, and finds it difficult to do anything, yet still having its playful persona, leaving paw prints as clues. Steve, while not confessing, is clearly tired and fed up with Blue, as he doesn't find the same joy playing with Blue anymore, believing it's more of a hindrance and a responsibility than a fun companion. Before, he used to enjoy finding clues and playing with a young Blue, but now he finds it to be more of a chore than a fun activity, displaying disgust and displeasure while cleaning after Blue. While all of this is toned down to be less unsettling, this represents how Steve is tired of the real dog named Blue, whom he doesn't like to play with anymore, and can't help but patronize and have a feeling of contempt about. H has cut off with Blue, who is sick and old, still having the same cheerful characteristic which Steve doesn't approve of anymore. That is why the show at the end mentions that one should be proud of their dog. They should give them what they need and love them. It's something that Steve cannot find within himself anymore. He's not proud of his old and frail dog anymore, and doesn't want to give it what it needs. Time and love, as despite being old, Blue still wants to play and spend time with its best friend, Steve, someone who has outgrown her. Although this short animation is entirely for entertainment and is created as a joke, it still corresponds with real life and how many times dogs suffer being unloved and being disposed of as used goods. Dogs tend to perceive their rescuers as their parents, whether they are adopted or not. Dogs see their entire world with their humans and depend on them till the end of their life. They remain children no matter how old they get. Unfortunately, many times, dogs are given to shelters when they reach a certain age or become old, as many owners grow tired of them and simply outgrow them, not finding the same joy with them when they were younger. They don't see the same dog they once knew and instead find it unbearable to spend time with their grown-up old dogs. Despite that, the dogs see their companions as their best friend, no matter how old or tedious they become. Doesn't matter if they become frail, if they lose their hair, lose their health, or anything else which other humans might find off-putting. All Blue ever wanted was to be loved and spend time with Steve. She saw Steve as the beautiful being who spent time with her, played clues, and loved her. She saw Steve as her hero and best friend, and her feelings towards him never changed one bit. No matter how difficult or painful, she still got up to show enthusiasm, but for Steve, Blue was long gone. She was not the same dog anymore. She was a sick old monster that took his energy away. For all he cared, she would better stay in her place and not bother his alone time. It's only when she's truly gone, Steve realizes what an empty and soulless house he's left with, ending with them crying and wishing he could turn back time. I'm sorry I had to end the video on this sad note. Dogs do deserve better, and we are their whole life, alongside food and treats, of course. This animation was an imaginative and creative take by meatcanyon, which was mainly for entertainment. This video was my own personal take on the animation. For more videos, you know what to do. You can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your host Dar. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.